What's up, guys? It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon and I am over here replacing the starter on my Case 450 CT track loader. A couple weeks ago I made a short showing how the guys had run this machine out of fuel about 20 yards away from the fuel tank and explained that this machine will beep at you for about 2 hours before it'll run out of fuel. Some of you guys said that it was pretty crappy of me to put that out on the internet and sort of shame those guys, and that wasn't my intentions to publicly shame them. I just wanted to show you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly, and some of the challenges that as business owners we have to overcome. Now obviously this issue was completely preventable and I was afraid that they burnt the starter up. If you remember from that video, they had run it out of fuel, tried to spin it over for so long that it had literally killed the battery. That's what made me think the starter may end up going bad. Anyways, they put some fuel in it, got it jumped off, move it over next to the fuel tank, and then it wouldn't start. So it's been sitting here for a couple weeks. I had to order a starter and I just haven't found the time to get over here to replace it, and that's why I'm here on a Sunday. Anyways, I just wanted to show you the process that I'm gonna have to go through. I'm gonna try to just tap on the starter and see if I can get it to start. Probably not. I think they've already tried that. And then I'm gonna end up having to lift the cab on the machine so I can access the starter. Oh well. Let's get going. So I've already tried to tap on the starter a couple times and I didn't have any luck. The starter is spinning, it's just not engaging, so it's not kicking out. And if you look back there, underneath the exhaust manifold is where the starter is. So it's pretty hard to reach from the back of the machine, and I'm gonna end up having to lift the cab. So basically, to lift the cab, there's these two levers on both sides of the seat, and you have to pull those forward. I've already done that. That releases the latch on the back, and this cab's probably pretty heavy, so what I'm going to end up doing is putting a strap right here on this front handle and hook it to the forklift and just back the forklift up. I'm over here by myself. I don't have anyone to help me lift it. All right, so we got the cab lifted in the air. Normally I wouldn't leave the forklift forks in the air like that for somebody to walk into, but I'm here by myself today and I want to leave the cab secured to something, especially if I'm going to be under it taking that starter out. So I'm also going to try to find something to prop underneath it in the back, but the last thing I want is that cab to come down on me, especially while I'm here by myself and nobody would be able to help me. But anyways, let me show you how easily we can access the starter now compared to before, and then I'll just have to replace it. All right, now that the cab is up, we can get to the starter much easier. I can get to the mounting bolts here and I'll be able to get to the wires underneath. Worst case scenario, I'll have to get and stand on top of the pump in there if I can't reach it, but I think I should be able to reach everything from the side. If the machine had still been running, it would have been easier to lift the arms all the way up as well and lock them and then pull the cab forward, if it would do that, just so that the arms wouldn't be in the way right here also. But it's not that big of a deal. This is still going to be much easier than trying to do something from the back. I'm going to go grab my new starter and make sure that it looks identical and matches up to that one before I pull it off, and then we'll replace it. Well, I'm having a heck of a time getting this starter out because I don't have the right tools, and this 30-minute job turned into a 2-hour job. I don't know if you can see it down in there, but I had to put a socket on that bottom bolt and run an extension all the way out the back and get it with an impact. I had a short wrench I could get on there, but no matter what I tried, I could not get it to break loose. Now that I got that one out, the wire's already disconnected. Should be able to just pull the top one out and we're on our way to being finished. And you can see the nose of that starter is absolutely blown out. Hopefully this bearing is not down in the flywheel or the bell housing. But it probably is. All the parts of that bearing being missing basically tells me that all the little round bearings and the race that was on there are down in that bell housing somewhere. And I just felt beneath it, and I don't feel like a view plate you can take off, because if you could, on the very bottom, hopefully everything would fall out. What I'm worried about is now just replacing the starter, and with the engine running, those ball bearings getting stuck between the flywheel and the bell housing, or the flywheel and the starter, or somewhere, and basically just causing metal on metal carnage. Because we could go from having a bad starter to a broken flywheel or something potentially even worse. I'm gonna go ahead and get all my tools and mess cleaned up, and then I'm gonna let the forklift down, or the cab down with the forklift, get it secured, and then I actually drove the rollback over here today, so I am gonna load this machine back up and take it with me. That way I don't have to make another trip to get it. Well, the shocks are working on this, but I did not want to trust those and get crushed by the cab. So I am going to go ahead and lower this down. We'll see how well they're working. When I go to let it down, it'll either go down sort of slow or it's going to just slam down. But either way, I'm not too worried about it. Also, I don't know if you guys had seen the video where I bought the 5 junk forklifts, but that big yellow one I was just using to do this was one of those lifts, and we rebuilt or repacked all the cylinders and fixed like an engine mount on that one, and either rebuilt the brakes or adjusted the brakes, all that good stuff. And anyways, that forklift's been over at this yard for probably 2 months now. Hasn't skipped a beat. It's been a great forklift. Well guys, that's it for today. I'm gonna get this thing loaded up and get out of here. Like I said, it's a Sunday afternoon and this took several hours, so I'm very glad to be done with that. But at least we got it done and I don't have to come back. Next time I will just make sure I drive the service truck. If I would have had the right tools, it would have been a lot quicker and a lot easier. So I just wanted to share with you guys sort of what it entails to replace a starter on one of these machines, but also to shed light on how simple issues like running a machine out of fuel can trickle into something much larger. So this machine's been down for about a month. It had to have a new starter, a new battery, and I'm over here replacing the starter on a Sunday because we're so busy. Again, it's not to shame those guys for that happening. It's just to shed light and show you the good, the bad, and the ugly that we face as business owners or business managers. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and we'll see you on the next one.